Religious right versus LGBT rights. The Supreme Court of the United States verdict undermines equality. The U.S. Supreme Court delivered a landmark verdict on June 30th, declaring that a Christian web designer cannot be compelled to create messages and websites promoting same sex marriages, invoking the First Amendment. The decision, rendered in the case of 303 Creative LLC versus Lanus, saw Lori Smith, the owner of 303 Creative, challenging a Colorado law prohibiting businesses from discriminating against LGBT customers. Smith insisted that her commitment to biblical truth does not align with creating content that contradicts her beliefs. Supreme Court Associate Justice Neil Gorsuch wrote in the majority opinion, quote, "In this particular case, Colorado does not just seek to ensure the sale of goods or services on equal terms. It seeks to use the law to compel an individual to create speech she does not believe. The question we face is whether the course violates the free speech clause of the First Amendment. The ruling has sparked widespread debates on the intersections of religious freedom, free speech, and anti discrimination protections." So, let me provide some background as I understand the case. So, Colorado has a portion of its anti discrimination law that protects LGBT people. And Colorado has previously been famous for having this portion of the law contested with a very famous case involving a baker, right? And it went all the way up to the Supreme Court because a baker didn't want to make a cake for a same sex wedding. And so she, this is actually where things get a little bit weird because in the case of Lori Smith, there was no gay couple that actually asked her to make a wedding website. She's a web designer. And the thing is, she had actually never made a wedding website, but she brought a complaint forward to the Colorado board or whatever relevant body or institution saying that she wants to go create wedding websites for customers, but she is worried that if a gay couple approaches her to make a wedding website and she refuses because it is against her deeply held beliefs, then she would have a discrimination case filed against her. So basically, she's trying to preempt any legal action against her by going after like the law itself beforehand, before she even has a business designing websites, which is a little bit weird because in most cases you actually have to have had one of these instances occur before you can bring it
Not
forward in
in
the
most
court.
cases. In all cases, she
No.
lied. She lied. That was not a case.
Okay, I haven't heard about her lying.
Yeah, the case that she brought up, the person was like, "How could this be me? I'm not even gay. I'm. You know." She
Okay,
mentioned.
so there are allegations that there were some things that were fabricated, like about a person approaching her to maybe make it, and then she was going to refuse, and so she preempted this action, blah blah blah, and then people are saying that this was falsified. But the details of that were like very murky to me, so I didn't want to
Okay.
pin it on that. Right? There's a broader
Okay.
thing
So
at work here,
so
and go
before
ahead.
anyone complaining, she wanted the right to not serve gay people.
That's not accurate. That's
Okay.
not accurate. So okay, here's the thing. I am not a lawyer. I want to preface this. I'm just a normal person trying to understand this case to the best of my ability. And I went and read a bunch of different opinions on this case from many different sources and from many different sides of the perspective, right? And I read a piece by a lawyer who actually wrote an amicus brief in favor of this graphic designer about understanding this case and about understanding this ruling. And it did provide me with a lot of clarity. So, in my perspective, based on the readings that I have done, again, I want to put this preface on it. Based on my understanding, I think that how should I put this? My understanding is the good news is that this ruling is not as broad as people might think. So it is not that you can discriminate against people because they are gay. This graphic designer, even in the case, she says that she has no problem serving gay people. That isn't what this is about. This is about her own personal conviction that marriage is between a man and a woman, and she doesn't want to be forced to make a product that contradicts that deeply held belief on the basis of her religious identity. But she has no problem serving gay people in any other capacity. It just has to be surrounding
So
this particular message.
wait, so
And
what capacity is she not okay with?
well, specifically a gay marriage, a same-sex marriage.
Okay.
But she has no
What it
problem having a gay client in general. She just does not want to be making a product that involves marriage between two same-sex partners.
so how is it so the court is now saying it's okay, she gets to not do that, right?
Yes, but it is
Okay.
not on the basis of that individual's identity that she is refusing to do that.
What is it based on?
That like actual message, that actual expression of the
Okay.
gay marriage. But she's
Okay.
not because she
So
like she said,
I understand.
she will have gay clients.
Okay. What if so based on this ruling, would it be the same if I said I don't want to make a website for interracial couples because of my deeply held beliefs?
Okay, now this is the problem because people who are against this ruling do bring this up as an issue. They do bring this up as an issue where someone could potentially refuse people service on the basis of, "Hey, I don't want to make a cake for a couple that had a child out of wedlock," or, "Hey, maybe I don't want to make
No, let's not do cake.
something."
Because let's not do cake. Let's do websites. Because
Mhm.
the issue is for cake, they could be like, cake is not speech, right? Cake is not speech, so make the goddamn cake,
Yeah.
right? So the reason why correct me if I'm wrong, the reason why they're saying this is different because web design includes speech, right? So they're like, you can't force somebody to say something. Okay, so if I say like I'll make a cake for anybody except gay people, I think the law says like nope, you can't do that. That's discrimination. Make the goddamn cake, right?
Mhm.
But if you say I will make a website for everybody, but not for gay weddings, now this court is saying, okay, now you get to discriminate here because that is involves like putting words on a website and stuff, which you have to say things that you don't believe in. So that would be for speech. So maybe this is different. Is that what we're is that what's happening here?
You're approaching it. So it's not literally about the words.
Okay.
It's the for something to so this the good news is that this ruling is more narrow than I actually originally understood. So it's not like you can go into Target and someone can refuse you service because you're gay because of their religious beliefs in Target. This is specifically in regards to artistic services that meet two standards. They are customizable and expressive. There are some products that you make for people that are customizable but not expressive. There are some products that you make that are expressive but not customizable. But this product is both customizable and expressive, which means that it involves a level of collaboration between the person giving the service and the person receiving the service. And when it is meets both of these standards, which are tight standards, well, I mean, actually moving forward in our legal system, we're going to have to work on defining these standards actually, and that's one thing that people are concerned about. But the standard of
Okay.
customizable and expressive, they're actually like a select few
But,
kinds of services that meet this standard. And because it's
but what if
collaborative between provider and client, that collaboration is what is involving the provider's speech, not literal speech, but expression. Am I
yes,
making sense?
I understand. Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. But whatever the standard is, it will if you apply it to, okay, I'm not going to make a website for a gay wedding, all of that will apply for interracial as well. There's no way that you could come up with a standard. So I think like I'm against this ruling because it seems like we have progressed enough in a society to see the problem with not having that discrimination against people based on their race. But when it comes to gay, we all of a sudden be like, okay, maybe. And I'm like, why is being gay discrimination based on being gay and not as taboo as people's races? It should be just as bad. It's just as bad. Like, how is that any different? So how is it to show people how bad this ruling is? We have to point to interracial couples, and people are like, oh yeah, like that's bad. Well, like, what is the difference? We should
Well,
be getting the same reaction from people for people discriminating against gay people. Do you
here's
understand
what
what I'm saying?
I do. I completely do. Here's where it gets tricky, and this is a good way to describe it as explained by this lawyer. What the objection of the service provider must be to the message in the product, not to the customer status. It must be to the
I know.
message in the product, not the customer
Again,
status. So,
it applies to the messaging again. Let's say, for example, you are an interracial couple, right? You're getting married, and you're not. You're saying that I personally believe, have a deeply held belief that is against um, white people marrying black people. I think like we should keep the race pure and stuff like crap like that, right? I have a deeply held beliefs, so I'm not discriminating against you, but making that website would be me giving a speech against what I believe in, and therefore you can't make me make that website. So it will
mhm.
still apply. I mean,
Well,
whatever
okay.
arguments, yeah, go.
Here's a quote from this article that I read. He said, quote, but the federal governments argue that as a matter of constitutional law, objections to same-sex marriage are necessarily status-based, equivalent to objections to gay people, won't fly for the compelled creation of expressive products. So this is the difference. They're saying that an objection, in their opinion, objections to same-sex marriages are not equivalent to objections to gay people. And versus, I think they might be more likely to say that objections to an interracial marriage are necessarily status-based
Why
objections.
is it different?
I don't know.
They're the same thing, though. They're completely the same thing. Am I making any sense or no?
No, I understand your argument as well.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this is really, really tricky, and understanding the intricacies about this are very, very tricky. Um, and there's still a lot about this ruling that I personally want to understand because it is quite complex. But I just don't like um it's not just straight up like no gays allowed. That's not what this
I
is.
know, I know, but still, it's opening the door to discrimination. Was it how was the voting like? Was it 4-5 or was it like what?
I
Was
believe
it
it was 6-3.
6-3? Holy crap!
Wait,
Okay,
actually, let me double check that. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Jesus Christ! I don't know. I think
It
like
was 6 to
I
3, a
think
6
like
to 3 opinion.
oh my god. Okay, I don't know. I disagree with this. I think we are. I think if it's not okay for interracial, it should not also be okay for gay people
Mhm.
to
And it is
discriminate.
concerning. I think the biggest concerns regarding this ruling are how do we go forward in defining what is considered these types of services that fit with under this narrow ruling? What kind of services are considered customizable and expressive both at the same time? What is and that also brings up the question of what is artistic? Um as well as like what how else could this be used to harm other civilians? Like, I refuse to make products. Like, I won't I make a baby, I don't know, registered website for a baby that was born out of wedlock or something. You know?
Yeah, well, okay, but in the interest of moving on, I was just going to ask you a question. Do you know what is good at customizing and being expressive?
Me?
No,
I don't
I
know.
mean you are AI.
True.
So we don't have to worry about you, lady, in the near future, okay? Because you know what doesn't discriminate against gay people when it comes to providing services and being expressive and customizable? AI.
I
So
feel like
you
AI does,
are
though.
does.
When I try to use ChatGPT to help me, like,
Huh.
do blasphemous stuff, it shames me.
Well, soon. No, no, no. I'm saying in the near future, we're all gonna have our own customizable personal AI, which is not doesn't have all these filters on. So we're gonna this is gonna be solved very. You're gonna have to. I bet you she would be crawling and begging gay people to come and hire her by that point. Okay, so
Honestly, yeah.
yes, your job is going to be replaced by AI, and you're going to be offering gay people your services for half the price by that point. Yeah. Any comments? Do you want to read a comment? Yeah.
Let's see what this one says. Let me blow it up 1 second. The same-sex couple case didn't even exist. Conservatives want to feel oppressed so badly, they're literally just making up problems and taking them to the Supreme
That's
Court.
what I'm saying.
Okay,
She
here's the
made it
thing that
up.
literally happened.
She made it up. She lied. The person that she used this as, you can't just go to the court and be like, I don't. There's no case, but I'm worried about this in the future. Like this is not how it works.
Oh,
There
the
has to be a
brief
case.
literally says because Miss Smith wants to expand her business.
Yeah, but yet that's not how it works. There needs to be a case. There needs to be like so and so versus so and then they appeal it, and that's how you bring it up. You can't just be like, "Hey, there's no case, but I'm just like, I just want you guys to have an opinion about this." This whole thing was based on a lie. Okay, I mean that's what I heard. Anyways, what is this?
Someone responded to this news saying, liberal authoritarians, you can't force anyone to work for you.
Um, no, you can't force people to work for you, but you don't get to have a job if you want to discriminate. I mean, you can be like, yeah, I'm not. You could lose that job. You could be like, I don't want to do this. Okay, well,
Well,
how
she
about you
can't
go
lose that
find
job
another job?
because it's her own company.
No, I mean, again, if you make a coffee shop and it's your coffee shop, okay, and you say I don't serve black people in the store, okay, nobody could force you to actually serve black people, but they could force you not to have a coffee shop. So you have to choose. You have to choose.
Mm.
You're like, okay, yeah, nobody's going to force you to serve the black people, but given that you're discriminating, they can shut down your store. That's what they could do. So there's that. And how about this one?
They're going to produce this ruling sooner or later. They just got a little antsy waiting for a real case.
Yeah, see, I was right. There was no real case. They were so desperate. They moved. There was not a case. So I was right about that. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't have a case. They made up the case. I don't know if that's going to do anything with the standing of this opinion that came out because it was not based on a
No,
real
because it
case. I don't
already
know.
if that was gonna take this case down, it already would have. It already would have.
Mm.
It wouldn't have gotten to the Supreme Court if it didn't have enough standing in that way. Or if the Supreme Court had an objection to that lack of standing. But they allowed it to continue.
Mm. Okay. All right. We have two super chats.
Ooh, Lovely. Thank you, everyone, for the super chats today. It's because of your support that we are able to continue doing what we do, providing this fun community. Asian American
Oh
is
no,
saying,
not that one.
oh, wait.
We already read that one.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
This
Okay.
one.
GJ gave us a 22 euro super chat. Thank you, GJ. Very generous. Saying off topic, I just looked at upping my AR YouTube membership to $5 or $10 a month, but jumping from $3 minion to 25 is a steep 733% higher. How about two extra 100% increase at 599 and
12.
1250?
Yeah, so there's no memberships between Minion. So is it not?
I know this might be something that we're
So
constrained by with YouTube. I can't remember.
yeah, we might not be able to. Maybe we need more members to be able to add more options.
Mm,
We have
true.
limited options.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. When we have lower
Yeah.
memberships, we only have so many options.
Yes. So guys, become a member so we have more options. Thank you.
Abby
But
Ju
thank you for your
really called
support.
me out so hard saying Susie trembling at the sight of numbers. Okay, I literally have dyscalculia, which is dyslexia for numbers. So when I read a number out loud, I have to triple check that I'm saying it right. Because I have
Oh,
made
by
some
the way,
mistakes when working the cash register.
GJ used the celebration of his 10-month membership to say Susanna could so well make lawyer. Fantastic. So I think he's saying
Oh,
that you would be
wow.
an amazing
Thank you.
lawyer. Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, and Kenny just gifted 10 memberships right now. 10 memberships.
Wow. Amazing.
Yes.
Thank you so much, you
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you. All right.
But I
So
don't appreciate people roasting me for my dyslexia.
hey, yeah, that's ableist. Isn't that ableist?
I
That's
can't
ableist.
help it. It genuinely did make mathematics so hard for me in school though. It was really, really hard.
It's a
When
skill
you
that you don't
literally like
need. We
the
have
numbers are
AI for
flipping.
that.
How the fuck are you supposed to do math in your head when the numbers are flipping?
We have AI for that. You don't need it
Exactly,
anymore.
exactly.
We are going to get to a point where you just dump all of the numbers on your spreadsheet and you tell AI to just like tell me what to do, and it will just put everything and make graphs and everything and tell you what the area in the business you need to work on and what cost cutting measures you need to make. So all of those skills, all the accounting and they're all going to be irrelevant. AI will take care of all of that soon, all of it.